Alright, video number 2, picking up where we left off last time in Wolcen. If you're watching the second video, great. That means you might have watched the first one and now you're watching the second one, and I think that's really cool. I've been kind of dabbling with Twitch streaming a little bit, not as much as lately. I have a 9-month-old son, and a busy life. I like to spend time with him and my wife and, kind of do family things nowadays, so I don't get to play as many games as I want, but we're coming to the end of the first act here. We're about to fight a couple bosses, which is really neat, and it's definitely pretty fun. These boss fights are fun. The one we're going to get into is definitely challenging. You have to fight kind of someone you considered an ally in the beginning of the game. So if you're playing Wolcen, you'll recognize this. I probably should have started this series from the beginning, but I didn't have the thought to do so when I started playing yesterday. So we're still playing kind of a spin to win. We haven't gotten any new gear since the last video. I literally stopped recording and started recording from the same exact spot so that you guys didn't miss anything. So it's definitely one of the more fun games. I've been enjoying this lately. I've really been having a hard time finding a game that I want to spend time in. I've logged a couple hundred hours in Path of Exile, which is really not a lot in comparison, and my next highest game with hours logged is Terraria with like 800 hours or something like that, because I used to play it at work. So we get these interacts. If you've gotten before, you see the value at the bottom with the, I don't really know what these are called, but these things here, these purple dots, you get them if you've already learned this skill, and they are valuable because I've not learned either of those, but they are valuable because if you look at your character sheet, you can reset your passive skill tree with these. So I have 325 of these. I can reset all of these points and basically respec however I want, which is pretty nice. I know, like, that's kind of refreshing compared to Path of Exile, just because you can't do that without getting Orbs of Regret or the reset points that you get kind of for quest rewards, and there's really not many of those given as quest rewards, and the Orbs of Regret don't drop a ton, so it can definitely be difficult to respec without starting all over. As you can see this, so I didn't talk about this in the last video, but there's a bar right down here above my skills. There's a willpower and rage. Rage is needed for melee skills, willpower is needed for spells, and they bounce back and forth. You get rage for doing regular melee hits, and you need that rage to do things like Blade Storm or Bleeding Edge. Sovereign Shout and Wings of Ishmir also generate that rage for you as well. So grants a buff for each enemy hit on landing. I really don't know what that buff is though. So yeah, I'm not going to use it. I guess I need to do some research on that. So that's kind of that click dash you can do every now and then. That was a good example of it. When you click on a mob, it just kind of dashes you in their direction, and you're able to just kind of enter into combat more quickly and cover more ground. Red thing, the red globe I just picked up off the ground, is kind of like a health globe. There are some skills that generate those faster for you, but right now I've just kind of been letting them drop naturally. So it looks like on the map we're coming up to a cursed chest, which is kind of neat. You click on this and it spawns a bunch of mobs, and when you kill them, this thing drops a bunch of gear for you. So all the mobs that are in the red circles here, you want to kill those in order to get the chest. So now you click on it and it drops a bunch of gear for you. So let's look at our inventory. We got a cool bruiser helmet here with the defense 1 in it. It's got 55 health and 38 all resist. That's really good. 9 toughness, 20 to all resistance, and 30% all resistance score. So this is a really good resist helm. I'm putting it on. So this chest is labeled as a rogue chest. It's got 97 health, 64 fourth shield. It's got some move speed, elemental resistance, health regen, wisdom and crit chance. I think I'm good with what I have on. And then the weapons are nowhere near as good as the axe we have right now. Neither are the boots, so we'll leave those alone. There is a good bit of character customization in this game. So every time you pick up a piece of gear you've not found before, you get a transmog. And you're able to really customize your character. So we're about to go in and fight a boss here in this next section. It's a pretty interesting boss fight. It's fun. There is some story to go along with it, and I'll actually let that story play out.
Now? Oh, they warded the way down, bastards.
Only torment and oblivion await down there. It might not be too late to return to the warmth of the surface. Find a new life. Forget about this foolish endeavor.
Something is in my head. I must break the pedestal before I lose it.
Alright. So there's some cool cutscenes and like some cool interactions. Come up here and click on these things. So you definitely want to pick up all the interacts that drop, as they are valuable for things you need to reset your skills. So there are definitely a lot of fun mechanics in the game, and I think there's a lot of different play styles to unlock. You know, the cool thing about these characters too is you're not set. Like, if you're playing a witch in Path of Exile, you're stuck kind of playing witch. You know, there are some different ways to go there, but in this you can completely reset with a single character if you have enough currency.
From the gate.
The protective dome is ruptured.
So
And the dark whispers have
turning
stopped.
off that last kind of, you call it like a ward, turning that off does spawn a boss down here. He's not really too bad. He does hit hard for sure. And that's done. So we want to pick up this shield. It didn't really drop any good gear. So now this opens up and down we go.
The necropolis itself is freezing.
So I think the next section here, after we listen to this guy, is another boss fight. I'm sorry, I'm still drinking coffee this morning.
Come now, let us greet the interloper.
So now that he's done talking, we can go in. So when you're getting ready to launch an event, it gives you this prompt. You have a minute to accept or decline it. You can click it again if you don't accept or decline quick enough. It's just warning you that if you are playing with friends in this online mode, that it's going to port them all here to you.
I welcome you, hero. You have come a long way to find death, and death you have found.
You are but a pawn. Who do you serve?
I suppose letting you grasp at hints of truth before taking your life is the least I could do. We do not get many guests around here. The debts can be dull sometimes. Anyway, my master, you ask? His envoy, Udai, led us here.
What for? What's behind that gate?
Quite the thing, isn't it? The structure behind this gate is as old as the world itself. Created by... A shame that you will never get to see it. Not while you're alive, that is.
Alright. So we gotta beat this guy here. So the shield above his head means he's kind of stunned and you get to attack him. When it flashes yellow, that means he's coming back. So here we are with a real boss now. And there we go. So it looks like we get a weapon from this. Two-handed sword is probably what we're interested in. 48 to 84. Offensive slot 1. 5 rage. So that means this rage doesn't return to willpower for basically 5 extra seconds. 25 attack speed, 25 all damage, that's the same. 20 attack speed score. Elemental stasis or status element change, duration of curse afflicted, and toxic damage. So we're not doing any cursing. We're also not doing I don't know. It's hard to choose. I mean, it is an overall DPS increase. Let's see what else. We got a sword. There's a warhammer here. Dagger. A shield, a helmet, a gem, and a potion. So let's take a look at these. So the warhammer. So there is some like inventory lag. If you click in here, it kind of fixes it. So this guy is nowhere near our weapon damage for total damage, so I don't think it's a very good increase. This bruiser helmet, defensive 3. It's a hard choice because it has a lot of health regen on it, which is nice. It has some resistance score, but not as big as the one we have on. The gem, though, being defensive 3 is kind of the game changer. So like I could get 100 maximum health with this gem, or with this gem it's 50. So these are the same gems. So this is tier 2 accrued silverstone, and this is tier 1 a chipped silverstone. So the gem, I don't know how high the tiers go. I think I saw one go up to tier 5 on somebody's stream, but I can't remember for sure, so don't hold me to it. Actually, I did not realize I had this bruiser shoulder, which is way better than what we had on, so there we go. Alright, so let's skill up. Well, we got 2 points here, so now we're getting this Blood Reaper and the Warmonger tree, where we're getting a percent of physical damage becomes rend damage, and that's 50% of that, which is pretty good. And then we'll put 5 points. Oh, we've got 20 points. So we'll put 10 into ferocity. We'll put 5 into toughness and then 5 into wisdom, just so that we get a good coverage with those 20 points there. And there we go.
More of them. So this is where they come from. As old as the world itself.
So this bit of the map, we kind of just run through it. There's no mobs spawning here, which is interesting. It's just kind of a run through to the next section. We actually need to level up our skills before we keep going, so let's get down here and let's check them out. So Blade Storm, damage ticks are applied left often, so it increases the area of effect, but we don't really get as much damage from it, so I'm not really interested in that. We're almost, actually very close to getting what we want with this unfettered determination. Bleeding Edge increases area of effect. Not really interested in that. Sovereign Shout. This gives us ailment, weakness stack +1, weakness chance +100%. So this is basically enemies that are hit with the shout. It kind of gives them a debuff. I really like that, so we're gonna keep that. And then yeah, that's all we really got. And I'm not interested in leveling up Phantom Blades because I'm not using it. It's not the skill that I want to spend my time using. So before we continue on, I am going to go back to town. I want to check that vendor to see if she has the interact for the Bleeding Edge debuff. I do get some lag when I come into town, which is unfortunate. I kind of need to optimize my PC a bit, I think. But I just haven't really had time to look into that. So as you can see, she doesn't have the one I'm looking for. So we'll just move on with our lives for right now, and we'll come over to Mojave and we'll just sell all this crap. We'll keep that because I'm not sure what I want to do with it.
Your patronage is appreciated.
Sell that. We want to keep the gems. We'll throw these gems in our personal chests. Oh, I forgot, I do have some gear in here. But nothing I want to keep, so I'll sell this stuff.
Customer, welcome to my humble.
And then we'll learn these so that they get out of our inventory.
They will regret standing in my way.
And then, what gems do we have? So this is a defensive 3. So let's look at defensive 3 on this. 50 health, 5 to all resist, life leech, dodge chance, force shield, 100 maximum health, 50 maximum health. I think it's between this all resistance and dodge chance. So let's look at our character. Let's look at the actual details. So health resist, block chance, dodge chance is 0 right now, and our resistance, where's it at? I guess these are our resistance types. So like the occult ones are kind of low. The material ones are pretty high, elemental's pretty high, so I think I'm going to go with a dodge chance on this. Put it in there, so now you can see we have the dodge chance. We'll go ahead and swap that out. I'm going to save this helm for a later playthrough, or you know, if I decide to swap it back out, we can do so. So now we'll just come back here, port right back to where we were. So we're actually coming up on the 20-minute mark again, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off again. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video or you have a comment, you know, I definitely am looking for some feedback on these. It's my first 2 videos on the channel. I do stream on twitch.tv/KirkNasty. That's KIRKNAS 7Y. You former Halo players will know what that lead speak is in there. So I really appreciate you watching if you made it this far, and definitely drop me a like or a follow or give me a comment with some feedback. I can definitely take the critical feedback. I don't get offended by things said to me on the internet. So there's that. Alright, you guys have a great day.